Well, hello, welcome again to a reading through of the Apology of Socrates by Plato, and I got up to chapter 10, which in the numbering system is 23c2. Prostitutois hoi neoi moi ep akoluthuntes. So in addition to these things, pros plus the dative, in addition to these things, hoi neoi, the young men, this is epi plus akoluthio, those following about with me, and then we get a break here, literally, for whom there is especially scholae, especially leisure time, these sons of the most wealthy, and then dash, they did so automatoi, of their own volition. So of their own volition, hearing, they rejoiced, so they enjoyed hearing, and it takes a genitive here, so hearing men, and this is a passive here, being examined from ex atasdo. And they themselves, polarchis, oftentimes, mimuntai, they tried to copy me, they tried to mimic me. And then they epikerusan, they put their hand to, so they turned their hand to examining others. That's to do that bit again more quickly here. So in addition to these things, the young men of their own volition enjoyed hearing other men being examined. These young men for whom there is a lot of spare time, and who are the sons of the wealthy, and they themselves oftentimes mimicked or copied me. It's present, so oftentimes they copy, I should say copy, it's present tense, they copy me, and then they turn their hand to, they attempt to exatasdane, to make inquiry of others, capator for kai epator, and then, I think, they find pollen aphtonian, this is again idiomatic here, literally it means a great plenty, a great lack of shortage, so it's like our no dearth of. So they found no dearth of men thinking that they knew something, but knowing little or nothing. So they found there were plenty of people who thought they knew something, but in fact knew little or nothing. And then, and from there, therefore, those being questioned, hup auton, by them, they hate me, not themselves. So they are hateful from orgistomai. They are hateful to me, not to themselves, and they say that this certain Socrates, so this Socrates here, esti mia rotatos, funny, very strong word here. Miros often has a religious overtone. It means abominable or wicked, often in a religious sense. So perhaps abominable, that this Socrates here is abominable. And diaphthere, he corrupts, literally he destroys, he corrupts toneus, the youth. Kaiapedan, so a very famous phrase, of course, corrupting the youth. And whenever someone asks them, now the hot tea is for hot and te. In other editions you'll get a gap between the two. It's hot tea, whatever thing. So whenever anyone asks them, he is doing what thing or teaching what thing. So whenever anyone asks them what is by doing what or by teaching what, ekusi men uden apain, literally they have nothing to say, but they are ignorant, from agnoio. So they have nothing to say, but they are ignorant. Right, this up here. Hina de, and this is the de balancing the men at the previous thing. But on the other hand, in order that they might not seem aporio, to be in at a loss, ta katapanton tone philosophun tone prokyra tauta legusi. So they say these things, the things that are prokyra, literally ready at hand. So it's again idiomatic. It means the sort of things, the stock charges, the standard complaints, kata, against all those practicing philosophy. So in order that they might not seem to be at a loss, they say these things, these stock charges which they use against all those practicing philosophy, hoti, namely that ta meteora kai ta hupages. Now this again, remember it said before, teaching what thing or saying what thing, so we've got to supply that. He says he teaches the things in the air and the things below the earth. This is this expression that was used in Aristophanes' Clouds, of course. And it's not believe in nomizdain, but not to show respect for, not to follow the usual customs in respect of the gods. Kai ton hato logon creato poien. Again, this is a stock phrase. I think this is also in Aristophanes' Clouds. It was a standard complaint against the philosophers that they make the hato, the lesser argument, to be the better one. Taga alethe oi amai, and I think yes, I think that they would not wish to speak the truth, that they are katadaloi, they are obvious, they are clear. We would put it as an adverb, that they are clearly prospoiumeni, pretending on the one hand to know something, but on the other hand knowing nothing. So just perhaps do that bit again quickly here. So I'm not sure from where. So in order that they might not seem to be at a loss, speaking these things, these stock complaints against all those practicing philosophy, that they teach the things in the air and the things below the earth, and they teach not to show due respect for the gods, and to make the lesser argument the better. I think that they would not wish to speak the truth, that they are clearly pretending on the one hand to know something, but on the other hand to know nothing. Hate is used, again, the standard idiom here, hate plus the participle. So I think, so inasmuch as therefore I think, they being philotimoi, this is a word meaning ambitious, a lover of time, a lover of honour, they being ambitious, kai spodroi, vehement, other we'd probably say very pushy, and there's many of them and numerous. And now this is a funny expression here, sun tetamenos. It's an adverb formed from a participle. The underlying verb is sunteno. There is an indeclinable word of the same form meaning vehemently or earnestly. It's something like in set terms or in set array in studied language. In other words, carefully expressed. So, and speaking in set terms, in studied language, I think one translator has, and persuasively, pithanos, placasi, this is perfect here from pimplami, they have filled your ears and even slandering long ago and spodros vehemently. So they have filled your ears and slandered me perhaps vehemently or exceedingly, polai, for a long time. Ek tutone, from among these ones, also Miletus, ep etheto, this is from epitithemi, to attack. It's probably a sense of lay your hand against, so it's the word epitithemi, standard word for attack. So from among them, Miletus attacked me, and Anytus and Lycone. And then he lists Miletus men, on the one hand, being vexed, being angry, hupaton poieton, on behalf of the poets, and Anytus, secondly, on the other hand, on behalf of the demiurgon. It's a word we have seen before in this and has much stronger meanings in later Platonic thought, but here I think it just must mean the artisans, the builders, and so on, and the politicians. So Anytus on behalf of the artisans, on behalf of the politicians, but Lycone on behalf, Lycone on behalf of the orators. Hosti, with the result that, now hoper kominos ego elegon, the very thing which I began to say, so the very thing which I was saying from the beginning, optative, I would be amazed if, now this is an optative, it's the hoios to ami idiom, and the ami's gone into the optative. I would be amazed if I would be able, ex helesthai, this is from ek plus hyreo, this is the middle, to remove. So I would be amazed if I would be amazed if I were able, I should say, to remove this slander humone from you. This slander, and then we get a participle here, perfect participle, it's gegona, it's the perfect, this is gegonwian, it's agreeing with diabolane. So this slander, sorry, I should have taken this bit first here. So let me do this bit again. I would be amazed if I were able to remove this slander from you in thus small time, so in such a short time. It having become so great. In other words, this slander is so well established. I'd be amazed if I can remove it from you in such a short period of time. Probably not something you would say to get on favour with the judges, but that's what he does. Taut estin humin o Andres Athenaioi alethe. Kai humas uti mega uti mikron apokrypsamenos ego lego ud hypostelamenos. So, O men of Athens, I think we have to take the Lego from here. So I speak, no, these things are for you true. In other words, this is true. These things are true. The who mean is awkward here. It means to you or for you, O men of Athens. And I speak to you apokrupsamenos, so neither covering up, neither having concealed anything great nor small, nor hypostellamenos, nor having, or something like suppressed it. So having neither suppressed nor covered up anything either great or small. I might just do that little bit again. It's a bit tricky there. So going from where, perhaps here. O men of Athens, these things are true for you, so these things are true, and I speak having concealed nor suppressed anything either great or small. Kaitoi oigaskedon hoti. Now oigaskedon again is idiomatic here. It means something like I am, literally I know almost. So in other words, I'm almost sure. So kaitoi, although I'm almost sure that I am hated, autois tutois, by these very words, the things that I'm saying. So I know that I'm being hated by these very words. The hot here, it's something like which. It's more general, these very words. All of the previous bit, which also is a tekmerion, is evidence, or is a sign, or is evidence that I speak the truth, and that this slander, now Greek uses it's literally my slander, but it's the slander against me. Greek has this funny way of using personal adjectives in this way. So, and that this slander against me, that this is the slander against me, and these are the idea, these are the charges. So, just to do that bit again. So, and yet I am almost sure that I am hated for these very reasons, these very words. And this also is evidence that I speak the truth, and that this slander, that this is the slander against me, and these are the charges. Kai e anti nun e ante. It's a combination of e an and te here, so it's something like whether. And I think I'll take so it's e anti autos se te ti tauta hutos huracity. Do this bit first. You will find it thus. Kai e anti, so whether. So whether now or whether again, whether afterwards, say te sati, you might seek these things. Almost you might look into these things. So you will find it so whether you look into these things now or afterwards. And that is the end of chapter 10.